So I'm at the very fontanelle, at the very epicenter of the African history. I didn't know that African history is so much tied to Zanzibar. I just learned that it's called Zinj Bahar, which is the ocean of the black people. Zinj is, Zinj means black, and then Bahar is ocean. So it is an ocean of the black. That is the original meaning of the word Zanzibar. So this church, this is the place we had slaves, man. Slaves were brought from Eastern Africa to this place, down to Zambezi.
Come up now. Come up now. Count the step. On the top of the round, down the close, you have a round. Before church, there where the slave market was.
This is where
on the step up there. If you want
the,
to see the picture,
okay,
I'll show you the later. And then behind the high altar, you have a grave for the bishop. He's the man with the building church. And then he buys slaves to be
what is the name of the bishop?
Edward Steer.
Edward Steer from the UK.
From England, yeah.
From England.
Yes.
Was he the first bishop?
Yes, he's the first bishop here. And
okay.
England was the third bishop.
From which year to which year?
Yes.
18
to work for the services for the bishop, because the already church coming, the church complete 1881 to 1882.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so this building was completed in 1881. Then he died in 1882.
Yeah, he died with the heart attack.
Heart attack. So his grave is right behind the pulpit.
Behind the high altar.
Behind the altar. Bishop Edward Steer, his grave. It is right there, guys. And wow.
The sign of the whipping post on the top of the high altar was.
Where the altar was?
Up there, down the cross, the sign of the whipping. The auction was there.
So the auction for the slaves was done here. Remember, I have just learned that part of history that Africa had two slave points. One point was in Western Africa in Ghana, and then the point on the eastern side was here in Zanzibar. And actually, that is the center where the slaves were tied on a pole and they were beaten. And when you cried as a slave, you cry a lot, then your prices went down. But the slave who didn't cry a lot was very highly prized. So these slaves here were taken from the African hinterland, like I've said, from Zambezi, from around the DRC, from Kenya, from Tanzania, Bagamoyo areas, and they came here. They were brought here through the ships, through the Indian those, and then they were brought here, and then they were sold. And I'll ask the guy where they went to, because I'm interested in why so many of them died. So the slaves that came from this market, because you say that Africa had two centers, two markets, two slave markets. It's here in Ghana.
Yes.
Okay. So those ones who were bought from here, where they went to which countries?
Yeah, from here to go to the West Indies, you go around the Cape.
Yes, then
Caribbean,
they went to
Mauritius, Brazil, and Pasha.
And Pasha.
To work with the sugar plantation,
okay.
Rumi, tobacco, cotton, water.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yes, please.
Why is it that those ones that went to West Indies survived, and those that went to Pasha, they never survived? Because we don't have the descendants of those slaves from Pasha. Pasha is Middle East, and we don't have the descendants. What happened to those who went to Pasha?
Yeah, it depends with the treat with the slaves. You know, another owner will treat the bad situation.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it depends the owner if you want to go where.
Okay.
He's not sure to say if you go there. Another way the slaves will go from here to go to America. It depends the owner. For those times, this market will tell you sell slave for wholesale. Different buyers will come here to buy.
So it was wholesale?
Yes, wholesale. Okay. And then if it depends with the slaves, with the survive, how you treat it.
So the ones that went to Pasha, Let's assume they were treated very badly.
Yes.
Somebody said they were castrated.
It's real.
Is it
real.
true that they were castrated so that
If
they didn't want that
if
generation?
like a cow, like a dog, you have the big walk. You don't think about sex if you have the big word.
So when they castrate you, then you really you have all the energy to work so hard.
Really.
So that you don't think about sex. You just your work yours is just work and die. And that is why basically we don't have the descendants of slaves in the Middle
the
East.
slave from Ghana is not too castrated because after abolition, slave trade.
Yes.
Men slaves with the back in the family, in the villages, and then still with the fine with the family. In Zanzibar, slaves is not to do like that. You know, for those times, the Arab men, it's okay to deal with the sex with the slave woman. Slave men is not to deal with the sex with the Arab woman.
Okay. Yeah. So if you are a slave and you are taken to Pasha, there's no sex with an Arab woman.
Yes.
Okay. So that is why. And then they were also castrated.
And then to work well, to work with the hard work, and then also not to think for sex. And then to give the marijuana to use like a regularize, it mean with the work more much. And
when they are on marijuana and then you don't think right.
Yeah, and then you don't think about your family or about your...
Yes, you're just on work,
hard work.
until you die.
If I have the time, just Google, we have a picture called the 12-year slaves. She was the actor from Kenya called Lupita Nyong'o. If you Google, can know very well about the slavery. You understand?
Yes.
Just Google the 12-year slave. Same marketing here.
Okay.
She would give the Cora for the picture, the best picture, slave trade. You call the 12-year slaves. She's now living in America.
Okay,
you call her Lupita Nyong'o. And this pillar, you present the 12 apostles. This is the marble, made in Italy.
Okay.
Now you have the mistake for this pillar. All the box and this is the must to be down, and this round is the must to be up.
Okay.
Because this is the base.
Okay. So there are 12.
The engineer on the holiday, he's the black engineer, don't understand.
Okay.
With the 12 pillars.
Okay.
And then the behind was the baptizing front.
Oh, there was the
baptizing.
Yeah.
Before church building here with the back to the market. You have the big halls to punishment. All slaves who don't understand the owner just to come here for punishment. After stop slavery, then the Bishop Edward just to plan to building baptizing here to grow, to forget about slave trade. And then here with the light, with the right love, enjoy, peace, long and suffering, happiness, and goodness around this one. If you want to prove, let me show you.
Okay.
You see love? Take this love.
Yes.
Okay? Enjoy. Yes. And peace. Long and suffering. Happiness. And temperance. And this one is Sasa.
Wow. Oh man.
Alujomba, kofia. Mwanamke tu kofia ndo anavaa. This door we call Zanzibar have the 3 types of door: Zanzibar door, Indian door, and Arabic. If you see the door like this is the Zanzibar door.
This is the Zanzibar door.
Have a decoration. Indian with the spikes against elephant.
Yes.
There's no elephant, just for decoration. Arabic with the writing Arabic and then with the chain.
Yes.
You know what the meaning is? You know the Papa Paulo crown, the Queen Elizabeth.
Yes.
This door and furniture, same wood, mahogany from Pasha for those times.
Free from Pasha, mahogany tree. Oh man, I'm so happy to be here.
Under the UNESCO.
Yes, no repair work without notifying UNESCO.
Because the engineer bishop to building this church, you're building coral stone and local soil and limestone.
Okay.
Yeah. Church now is more than 200 years.
Yes.
Church still have the same. Name of the cathedral called Santimoni.
Okay.
Now to go to see the monument.
Okay.
The monument you're building with the Clara Sorna. She was the Swedish. Just building to show the how to fix slaves.
Okay.
Original. Just take video or you want to tell anything, just I want to take phone there. And then I come.
Okay. Wow. So this is the monument.
Yeah, just have the reading here first and then you can take video before the students come.
Okay.
The Chinese original.
Memory of the slaves. I'm speechless.
The chain is original. Behind there, the slave master.
So-
No chain.
Okay,
This
so
just for the memory. The chain is original.
the chain is the one that the original
Yes,
chain that
yeah,
was
yeah,
used.
yeah, yeah.
So
You
they were
find-
tying those slaves like that.
Yeah, because slaves not to fix chain on the leg. You fix on the neck because you go like a slave's caravan. If you
They
fix
have
on
to
the
walk.
leg, can go slowly, yeah.
So the guy behind
This is the slave master
the slave master who was also an African.
for Zanzibaran people here.
Okay.
You know the many local language here.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not to give anything, like a supervisor.
So that is the supervisor, the slave master, and the 4 other slaves. This is true history. So we have the female, we have 2 females, and then we have the male.